The following is a presentation of BiGGs Media Services.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Are you ready? Time to play the game!
BiGGs Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
You want to hear a nice golf joke? Yeah, I should have showed up and watched me play yesterday. I should be put on Chick Galore or something like that. A team named that. Scramblers. That's it. Scramblers, that's a team I should be on, because I was scrambling for my ball.
There's a golf shot. That's a golf shot.
Hey, when am I going to get the caddy?
The bag is bigger than you.
So?
That white one?
Yeah?
That's the one you're carrying.
Oh, man, that thing's a boat anchor.
I haven't had golf anything since high school.
No, that's you, not me. She likes to enjoy a beverage herself. Is that what you're trying to say?
I might be distracted. That's another story. Golf course and equipment reviews, golf news, guests, and lots of golf humor. When you need to drive for show,
Are you ready?
BiGGs Golf Talk.
I'm special.
Yes, you are, with a helmet.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.
It is showtime, baby! Here we go! BiGGs Golf Talk is presented by US Golf Challenge with Tito's Homemade Vodka. Qualify for the King's Cup by participating in a national qualifier in your area. Visit usgolfchallenge.com or bigsgolftalk.net or .com for more information about a local qualifier in your area. If you are around the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, mark the date for June 15th. It is the BGT 18-hole challenge, and that is a national qualifier for the U.S. Golf Challenge to participate in the national championship at Myrtle Beach and qualify for Team USA to compete for the International King's Cup. BGT also sponsored in part by ShotScope, Data is Power, Encore Golf, Photo Ball Marker, McNally 22, Ready Putt, never putt with a dirty ball ever again, Zalise, CBD for golfers, Scorpion 21, Feel the Sting, Squares Golf Footwear. It's hip to wear squares. UFO Tour Golf. Connect with BiGGs Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Golf Ball. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. We're available in the Google Play Music Store, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your smart home devices. Our website is www.bigsgolftalk.net or .com. BIGGS, golftalk.net or .com. And don't forget, we are wrapping up on the March giveaways to give away a Squares golf prize package and a Sniper ambush golf putter, but you have to enter to win, and it's absolutely free to enter. And what are you guys doing these days anyway? You're at home, go enter every single day. There you go. We're getting ready to ramp up our April giveaway as well. It's supposed to have been a very special one because it was the Masters month, but we're still going to keep it special for you. And we're going to keep it big for you because everybody's at home. Everyone's biting at the bit to get out and play some golf and all that stuff. I am Big John Vick. He is the golf father, Bill Cuevas, and Amanda, the golf diva Robertson. We are all practicing social distancing, including here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We are not in our regular studio. We are in a home studio. And our home studio, it is the Tito's Handmade Vodka Home State-of-the-Art Studios here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Good morning, boys and girls.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Well, I don't know how many days it is since March 16th. Yes, too many days. Since March 16th, we have, and it seems like every week we come on the air, and every week something has been accelerated as far as stay-at-home orders. This week here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, our governor has shut everything down but essential businesses, and that includes golf courses. No golf courses are open, although I'm hearing some people take out the carts and golf on private courses that they have but belong to, just no clubhouse, and nothing is open as far as food, beverage, and all that stuff. And that's got to make it pretty difficult, to police and to, try and track, pace of play, and, if somebody gets mad or somebody's littering on the golf course. And we got a lot of great experts today to talk about what is happening in the golf industry. But let me start off with Amanda, the Golf Diva Robertson. You're always back and forth between Arizona and San Diego and all that stuff. What's happening in your hometowns?
Well, as far as now, Arizona, we are still functioning. We're not on a mandated lockdown, but all of our, everything is takeout, curbside pickup only. And then the essential stores that are necessities, like Best Buy, electronics, they're all doing curbside pickup as well. So you have to order online. And then our golf courses are kind of doing what they feel is best per club. So my personal home club is still open at Tatum Ranch. And luckily I've been using that just to get out and go play every day and try to get out of the house for a little bit. But I've been hunkering down, just staying home and actually working on some projects around the house.
And see, as I sit here and think, and Billy and I have been back and forth over the last couple of days about golf activity itself, I'm starting to think I'm not a big range guy, but maybe for my health and for my safety.
Your sanity.
I'd rather go to a range right now than to actual play around the golf because, if you got nobody out there policing it, and we'll touch on that a little bit later on, if you got nobody out there policing it, that could be dangerous health-wise, don't you think, Amanda?
Yeah, so our club is still wide open. So we have staff working. We're not allowed in the pro shop. They meet us at the door to check us in. And they've pulled all water containers. There's new food except for pickup. The halfway house is open, but that's just
packaged goods.
It's all right there, yeah. And there's no cart or beverage roll. So they're really, they've stripped the golf course. They've implemented the little pool noodles around the cup, so that way your ball doesn't fall down into the hole, and stuff like that. So, as far as we still have pace of play out there. But yes, it would get a little hairy-carry if you didn't have any staff and it was just unsupervised. You would like to think adults could handle it, but anyone that knows some of these country club folks, it gets a little haywire.
Yes. Well, then you go do it to a public golf course and it really goes crazy.
And later on, I've actually booked a guest with a former rules official from the USGA. He's going to join us to talk about what the USGA is doing to kind of help out, and so people can still report their scores as an official score for the handicap. But Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas, let me turn to you. Tampa, Florida. Have you guys gone into a whole statewide stay-at-home?
No, not every place. No. They haven't. They had this thing that's weird because I guess they didn't want to commit to it. It's stay at home. So, but no, safe. They call it safe at home. So in other words, you don't have to do it. They just ask you to do it. So it's not the stay at home order. It's a safe at home order, which people don't really care about because people are everywhere. People are still going. You see it on the news. They shut down the beaches this weekend. They're shutting down a lot of the alleged non-essential businesses. But people are still out in the street. They're still going out. They're not practicing. My biggest concern being here in Florida is the amount of elderly people that I'm seeing in the street. The lack of themselves caring for themselves. You go out. We're going to the stores. We're going shopping and everything else because you need to, because there's a shortage of everybody knows toilet paper. There's a lot of things that are shortage. But you go to these stores, and there's some nasty people out there still.
Yes, there is.
They're still out there, and you're like...
Now, here in Albuquerque, we have a stay-at-home order, and it can be penalized by arresting and jail time. So no more than 5 people in a gathering, and people have been utilizing the 911 service. Going way overboard by reporting 6 people walking down the street together. But you can be ticketed for a $100 citation or 6 months in jail. And you know, so here's this thing. In the state of New Mexico, we have 116 cases of confirmed COVID-19. All right? 9 of those cases are hospitalized. 1, in just the last 48 hours, as a matter of fact, 1 person has died from it, and they were 70 years old and underlying health conditions that contributed to the death, but did get the COVID-19 virus. I also, in the last 72 hours, I heard from a friend of mine, I literally now know somebody personally that has contracted COVID-19. And one of my former, as a matter of fact, Bill, you know him too, Gil Thompson, did attract the COVID-19 virus. However, he said, like, a week later, I feel normal again. I feel just fine. I think there's levels. I mean, if you're a healthy person, there's levels of COVID-19 virus. I mean, I've also heard where it's an influenza on steroids. So different. I think this whole COVID-19 is going to be individually, you know, on how severe it is.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you hear in the beginning we were unsure, so everyone was saying, you know, the elderly or the really, really young or anyone that has a compromised immune system. But now we're seeing a few people that were healthy, didn't have underlying issues. There was a 12-year-old girl on life support. You know, there was a 36-year-old healthy young man, friend of mine, her cousin's 25 years old, super healthy kid. Plays all kinds of sports, no issues, no asthma, and is fighting for his life and trying to get the government to give him the drug. So I'm with you, Biggs. I think it's more of we have to start looking at this case by case rather than separating people into categories. I think it's just kind of the luck of the draw, or the unluck of the draw, I should say, of kind of who gets dealt what.
Yeah. All right, we're going to head into our first break, and coming up next is Amanda's On Par with Amanda, and then after that, a roundtable discussion will still continue. We have some news stories when it comes to the LPGA and much, much more here on Biggs Golf Talk. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey, everyone. Biggs Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. Download the app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Biggs Golf Talk. Be sure to save us as a favorite so that you'll know when we're on. Join the millions of iHeartRadio listeners and listen to Biggs Golf Talk. Golf Talk for golfers.
The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best 2-player teams to compete against International Field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup style event, known as the International Kings Cup, played in honor of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer.
The 6th annual edition of the International Kings Cup will be contested in May 2021 at the Glasson Golf Club in Ireland.
The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. 2-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. The top 30% and ties at each qualifier will be invited to the USGC National Championship. Winning teams at national qualifiers have a chance to receive a free $950 team entry into the event.
With an open and a senior division, each having 4 flights, teams of all skill levels will compete for a spot on Team USA. The winning team from each flight at the United States Golf Challenge National Championship will be crowned and win the expense-paid trip to the Glasson Golf Club in Athlone, Ireland, as part of Team USA.
Do you have what it takes? For more information, the website is usgolfchallenge.com for all the details. That's usgolfchallenge.com.
This is a commercial for golfers. Take the next step to improving your game with ShotScope and discover your strengths and weaknesses. Analyze statistics on your clubs, tee shots, approaches, short game, and putting. ShotScope V2 is the golf watch that combines GPS distances with automatic performance tracking. Once you have it, you won't want to play around without it. Check out ShotScope.com to take your game to the next level.
It's time for commentary, opinion, and controversy. On Par with Amanda. And here's the golf diva, Amanda Robertson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another week of On Par with Amanda. Thanks for tuning in. And this quarantine. And I don't know about you guys, but I have been spending my time as much as possible at home and sneaking out to the golf course every couple days or so just to get some fresh air. And luckily for me, the golf courses in Arizona have not been shut down as of yet, but we are headed that direction, I unfortunately think. So I wanted to chat a little bit about how to work on your game when you are stuck at home. And I have a lot of people that come to me, ask me tips and ask for, instruction, and few clients that I work with and I have worked with over the years. And the number one thing that I preach to people wanting to take lessons, when you first are going to take a lesson, a good measure of the instructor that you're working with is for them to ask you, what do you want to get out of taking lessons? And for some people, that's, hey, I want to shave off a couple strokes so I don't lose money to my buddies as often, or I just want to be able to keep up with the people that I play with just a little bit better. I want to get off the tee a little bit better. But occasionally I will have the person that says, oh man, I want to get down from a 15 handicap to a single digit, and I want to start playing regularly. And my biggest piece of advice is you have to be able and willing to put in the work. So I don't want to sit and take someone's money for lessons if they're not going to go home and do the fundamental tasks that I'm asking them to do, to go to the driving range and practice. It is a big commitment, but with that said, if that's what you're wanting to see, you're wanting to see huge results, you have to put in the time. But here's what's great about that. The effort that you have to put in, while you have to be consistent with your practice, you can do it at home, in front of a mirror, down the hallway. There's so many options. And so this coronavirus really has given new light to working from home and teaching and practicing from home and all of that. So I kind of wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about my fundamental tricks and the things that I work on at home or have been working on while I'm stuck inside. Like I said, I've been fortunate to sneak out to the golf course a couple times, but for those of you that have no golf course access whatsoever, let's break down how to run through some of the basic fundamentals. So if any of you have been to a teacher that has said, use the mirror, use the mirror, use the mirror, this is a great training tool, and it's great for the backswing and to see where you're at visually. So when I take a club back to the top of my backswing, I need to see where the correct movement. Some people are more visual than others, and for those people, that's where that mirror comes in. We want to repeat a swing, and if I can see myself repeating that in the mirror, it's awesome. So if you have a full length body mirror, and you can set it in the hallway or set it somewhere that you can take a backswing, and it's directly behind you, so when you turn back, coil back, you can see where your arms, where your posture is. This is one of the greatest little drills ever. The other drill with a mirror is turning around the other way, and I actually chip into a mirror. And I know that sounds really weird. Now, I take foam practice balls, the yellow dimpled foam ones, and if you chip into the mirror, I can see where I'm striking the ball. I can see my finish after a chip shot, and I can kind of see what I'm doing here. Now, my biggest piece of advice to any new player is that the more you can perfect your short game, the better ball striker you will be in the long run. So this is something really important to me. I know, not everybody feels this way, but I really do think that any new beginner player, I start with short game, because once I can get you to commit to ball striking and hitting the ground and not being afraid, and you're kind of striking that match at impact, the better it's going to be as we make the swing longer and longer. And so short game is something you can really take advantage of around the house. Now, for those of you that have the Rocket sports nets or the chip and goes and the chip easies and all of these nets, awesome. Use them until they literally wear out. But For those of you that are like, well, I don't have those nets around my house, I use a laundry basket. I've used a pot. You really can get creative. Anything to chip into. Like I said, if you don't have foam balls, I would highly suggest jumping online and ordering those. That might be actually one of the few things still in stock in this crazy time. But it's really advantageous to get in some short game. So if you have a shaggy rug that you can chip off, that's great. Or some carpet. Carpet works wonders, but make sure that you're constantly moving your lie around so you don't wear a spot in the carpet. We don't want any wives or girlfriends or anybody in the household getting mad. So with that said, you have to think outside the box, and this is part of being, I think, a good athlete all around, is getting creative, wanting to continue your growth as a player. So, chipping, awesome, great. Putting is another. So these two fundamentals, chipping and putting, are probably the two strongest fundamentals that once you obtain a really good, solid foundation for, you're going to be a better player all the way around. You can never over practice these, and I'll get into a little bit more about why practicing putting indoors has really helped me overall. But let's start with putting down a hallway. Like I said, if you don't have some fancy putting gadget, if you have carpet works really well because it gets an even roll, unless you have some crazy shag $1 million carpet. But also, if you have any type of flooring that is smooth or flat, that you can get a consistent roll, that's a great time to work on putting. So if you have multiple people in your house, stand at opposite ends of the hallway and do the 2 putt drill. So each of you take a ball and you have a hole, so whether that's a cup or if you have something to putt into, and you literally putt at the same time until one person makes it. And once one person makes it, you switch sides and switch putts. First one to 7 wins. So this is really great. It gets you really working on your stroke. Also, I'll just sit there for a couple, 30 minutes to an hour, and I will just make the most consistent, smoothest stroke that I can make over and over and over. And, what people fail to realize is that while people always tell me, I don't have time to go to the range, I don't have time after work to go, you don't have to. You can practice these things. They make home objects and they make things for golf, for the home, for a reason. It's because you don't have to go to the driving range, and if you're keeping your fundamentals sharp, short game, the more you practice it, the better ball strike. I promise you could go 2 months without hitting golf balls and just work on your short game every single day, and I guarantee you going out, your ball striking will be great. So this is something that I've really actually used, as I guess, or found the silver lining in this coronavirus, is that this is now the time to start working on all the things you tell your instructor that you're going to, but you don't. And if you have somebody else in the household that does play golf, or even if they don't, you can really make a fun game of it. You can kind of set up a mini putting track around your house. If you have vinyl plank or tile, you can get creative with the putts. So anyway, now is your time to really take advantage. We're stuck inside. That's not changing right now. So make sure that you are working on your golf game. The other thing is I had a few people send me in some really cool photos of how they are spending their time at home golfing. So I had a really creative photo of one of the Chippo mats that floats in the pool, and some people going outside to get some fresh air in the backyard, of course. And just spending time together as a family is huge. Getting your kids involved, putt with them for 30 minutes or an hour, and like I said, make it a family game night. This is something that's really creative and super great. What else have I been doing? I definitely have been taking advantage. So a lot of golfers push off like stretching and rolling out and getting their bodies to feel good. And so now with all this time at home, you should be foam rolling, you should be stretching. If you have yoga tapes, do some yoga. And guys, that includes you too. A lot of guys are like, oh no, yoga's for women. No, yoga is great. To be able to stretch, to be able to move your body. You're going to be a lot happier this spring when you get out and you actually start to play golf. You're going to feel loose. You're going to feel great. Also, being at home, I talk about this a lot just because I'm a huge advocate of eating healthy, and what you put into your body is what you get out of it. So this is where being stuck at home, obviously, you should be cooking more. You should be making more meals at home. Get your kids involved. Get your family involved. But you can have a better oversight of what's going into your recipes, what's going into your meals if you're making them. So make good decisions. Make some healthy, fun meals. Look, Pinterest. I use Pinterest literally every day to look up really fun, creative, healthy recipes. You know, there's a lot of things you learn when you stay home for a while. I travel so much that sometimes I get caught up in just being always gone. So when I'm home, I literally just zone out. But we have a ton of aloe vera plant in the back. I've never used it. I've never thought even how to use it. So I finally did some research, learned how to cut and scrape out the aloe vera gel out of the aloe vera plant. Not only can you make hand sanitizer, it's great to make hair masks, face masks. It's great for your body. If you have a sunburn because you've been laying out by the pool too much, that is another thing. But all of these things, I think at the end of the day, you can really use this time to create a very healthy, stable peace of mind. And while we're living in a state of unknown, which is very devastating to the human nature, we want to know for certain. The unknown, we have to kind of take it in our hands and use this time. And that's not to be naive, and that's not to just live in a fairy tale world, but stay positive. You know, keep healthy, keep mind, body, and soul all together. And that's what I've been really trying to do over the last couple weeks. Also, just be kind to one another. You'll start to see if you feel better all the way around. You'll treat others a little bit more with more compassion. And, you know, I've talked to a lot of people during this quarantine. I've gotten messages from you guys, and everyone, for the most part, has been pretty upbeat considering. But every once in a while, I'll get the Debbie Downer, like, this is terrible, this sucks. And so what I would say to those people, use this time to really embrace the ones around you. Get support, and get outside, get some fresh air. Just keep your distance and, spend a little time. Quality over quantity, people. So with that said, coronavirus, I don't think is going anywhere too fast, too soon, but in the golf world, we can stay ready. So when it is golf season and it is safe to go back out and play, you are ready to go, and you are definitely ready. If you get on social media and you follow at all anybody that plays golf, this has been the time instructors are literally dishing out tons and tons of advice about how to practice, how to work out at home, how to do strength training, anything. So use social media as a positive instead of a negative, and take advantage. Get yourself in shape and healthy and feel good for the awesome summer that we have ahead of us. So with that said, I want to hear from you guys. Make sure to write in. I have nothing but time now, so send me messages. It's A Robertson Golf on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Send me your pictures or videos of what you guys are doing while stuck in the house, and I'll definitely try to share them next week. And keep me posted, and if you guys have any questions about golf or nutrition or health, let me know. Here at Biggs Golf Talk, we're all about compassion, and we're all about other people. So keep us in the loop, and thanks again for listening, and have a wonderful, safe rest of, next week, and we'll see where this thing leads moving on into the beginning of April. Stay safe, and until next week, keep indoor swinging for par.
That was a great segment by Amanda Robertson. Keep swinging for par, people. Keep swinging for par. On Par with Amanda, sponsored by Backswing Golf Events. Listen, folks, if you're looking for classy ladies to come and raise money for your event or your charity, as a matter of fact, BackswingGolfEvents.com is the only place you need to go to and book these lovely ladies for your event to raise money and entertain the golfers in your event. Backswing Golf Events is the place for your event today.
Having a corporate or charity golf event? Backswing Golf Events can supply your tournament with personable, professional golfers to entertain and fundraise on the golf course. They can accommodate any size group, whether it be 3 players to 500. They are your team. From range lessons, Beat the Pro, and Pro-Am style roaming, they're making lasting memories one swing at a time. So make sure to check out BackswingGolfEvents.com or call us direct at 661-316-3093 and book your pros now.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
Golf is a dirty game. It's time to clean it up with Ready Pot, the only putter cover with a built-in ball cleaner and magnetic surface. Clean balls roll accurately, meaning you make more putts. Sink more, swear less. Clean up your game with Ready Pot.
Welcome back to Biggs Golf Talk, and we are broadcasting from the Tito's Handmade Vodka state-of-the-art home studio in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Bill the Golffather Cuevas is in Tampa, Florida, and Amanda the Golf Diva Robertson in Arizona right now. And boys and girls, and that was a great segment by you, Amanda. And as always, stuff I want to talk about. I want to talk about some LPGA stuff, some LPGA news, and a roundtable discussion here on Biggs Golf Talk. The LPGA Tour is announcing updates to their schedule as we continue to navigate the global coronavirus pandemic. After previously announcing, according to LPGA.com, the postponement of their events through the Anna Inspiration, they have decided to postpone all through the end of April into May 3rd. So the LPGA Mediheal Championship in California is the last tournament to be postponed. The LPGA Tour also announced that its first major of the season, the Anna Inspiration, has been rescheduled. It has been rescheduled for September 10th through 13th at Mission Hills Country Club in Rancho Mirage, California. Now, the tournament that was scheduled for that weekend, the Cambia Portland Classic in Portland, Oregon, has been rescheduled and will now take place September 17th through the 20th, so just a week after the Anna Inspiration. The LPGA continues to work with its partners on plans to reschedule previously postponed events and will provide further updates once those plans are finalized. Amanda, just from what I have read from the LPGA Tour, you being an LPGA player, have you heard anything else?
No, that's pretty. They're just working around the clock trying to move logistics. It's not only just moving an event to a different date, but it's also making sure sponsors are still on board, making sure it kind of works for a multitude of people, not just the players. The players are going to be flexible. They're going to play when they need to play and be where they need to be. So, it's just a matter of, logistics and moving it and making it flow. Still, the way they set up the tour year to year is to make it flow for the girls that travel. And same with the guys on the PGA. They try to make it flow and not just be chaos all over. So I'm happy they're not canceling. I didn't think they'd cancel the ANA. It's a major. The girls, obviously they look towards that for like Rolex rankings and stuff. So.
Now, as a professional player, we actually tried to also get a PGA Tour player to make a foursome in our roundtable discussion. Unfortunately, he was not available. But as a professional player, what do you guys do to stay, up to shape and keeping your game up to par? Pun intended. But keeping your game up to par and being tournament ready.
So yeah, that's the difficult thing. I know I'm considered, I guess, one of the lucky ones. My country club's still open, and I've been able to go out there pretty much daily, even for a little while. But I will tell you, I have been seeing a multitude of online ways to practice at home. I have a chipping mat that I chip off of. I also have a putting thing that I set up down the hallway just to kind of keep everything moving. And I know as a lot of my friends and other players are doing the same. It's indoor, but you can never overwork the basics. So the more that you sit and you work with a good putting drill down the hallway, like, it's just going to help you stay kind of in the moment. But it will be nice. I think everyone has a little cabin fever, and we're all ready to get back out there.
It really kind of sounds like, backing up what, and I'm sure you've seen the message from Mike Wan, the commissioner of LPGA, or what he said is, all the players, the fans, the sponsors are all ready to get this thing going again. I mean, They are ready to get it going. They have prepared TV times. They have prepared meetings and stuff like that, whether it be, using Zoom or whatever the case might be. Many people are video conferencing from home, but still working and still trying to grow the game and still making sure that when this thing says go, they're ready to go.
Right. Yep, it's, I recommend, even for some of the people that I teach or help out, amateur players as well, like, this is a great time to be working on fundamentals. And a lot of people don't want to work on the fundamentals, but there's no better time than now because you're forced to be at home. So if you have any like swing devices that you use, like the Speed Whoosh, or you use the, Swing Wizard, or any of these things, like, go out in your garage and use them and do them for once instead of letting them sit and rot in your garage. So I'm all about fundamentals, and I think chipping is the road to being an awesome ball striker. So
Absolutely.
The more you can work on short game, it'll just kind of flow up the line. So the more you can chip around your house, order some of the foam balls from Dick's, because your wives or moms or whoever in the house that runs the nest will not like you hitting real golf balls down the hallway,
Right.
as my boyfriend has currently tried to do.
One of the other things to keep your game in shape, and I think this is both for amateurs and professionals, and I tweeted out a company that has a really good solution for those that need to practice at home. Birdie Ball has great ideas and great different putting mats. And Bill, you're very familiar with Birdie Ball and their putting mats and the artificial greens that they provide. But what a great way to keep your putting game in shape. And later on, one of our products of the week is a putter. But what a great way to keep your putting in shape by using a Birdie Ball mat.
Yes, I absolutely love Birdie Ball. We've been using them for years and years and years. They think outside the box, and they make it so easy for you to practice at home. They have all types of different things that you could use, whether it's the Birdie Ball, whether it's the mat, whether it's putting tools, whatever you need. Check them out. They always have great sales, great everything. I just saw a video that they were doing, that they're sticking extra gifts inside of the orders. So, and it could be anything. It could be a putting mirror. It could be extra birdie balls. It could be anything, hats, whatever. They're just throwing them in there. And they had like one person that was going to win everything, all of them. So I think it's pretty neat what they're doing. They've been around for a long time.
John is a great guy. He is a phenomenal guy.
He truly is a great person, a human being out of Colorado. I don't know how Colorado is or how they're holding up, but their business, they're online telling people, we're here for you.
We have to reach out to John for next week's show and get him on, because he has a great solution for right now for those that have to stay at home and truly love golf and all that stuff. Something else I want to talk about and get this on a roundtable discussion is a gentleman by the name of Martin Dempster. I don't know if you guys heard about this story. He says why a golf course is one of the safest places at the moment during this time. He feels, given everything going on at the moment due to the coronavirus, I had a feeling that someone could actually have been waiting on that first tee to say we shouldn't be going out to play golf. If truth to be told, I'd been put on edge slightly by someone highlighting on social media earlier in the day about a dilemma of having to pull out the pin or rake a bunker without touching them. Obviously, by now, the USGA has taken steps where that does not have to take place or shouldn't take place. But with that said, he feels that the golf course is still probably the safest place to be at right now as far as recreational activities go.
Amanda, you want to go first?
You can take it. Let's hear your side.
Okay. Well, I believe that it probably was one of the safest places until, to the current situation that they're doing with the extra stuff that they're going. There's a few things I really don't like, and I'll just touch on one really, really quick. The new handicap that you can still report your handicap. I don't agree with it.
I think that should be suspended. Yep.
Yes, and I think that would make a great roundtable next week when we can see it, because I've been doing it here with the guys that I've been playing with and watching the scores that have dropped 5-6 strokes.
Oh, easy.
Is insane.
Yeah.
And they're taking it because Biggs now with this new cup rule of it being
all you have to do is touch it.
All you got to do is touch it. So you know what people are doing? They're going at it. They're just hitting it as hard or whatever they can just to hit it. Glance it. They don't care where it goes. So there's no rollouts. There's no going
lip
around the cup,
right,
lip outs, nothing whatsoever. You could hit that thing and go 8 feet past that cup because you know it when I've gone in, and they're counting it. Oh, I got an eagle. And I'm like, how do you, if you're playing with somebody that never has an eagle and now all of a sudden has 2 in a round, something's wrong.
Right.
So, and then you got the ones that they're building the circle around, that all you got to do is get it in the circle. No, I don't believe it's the right. No, suspend that part. We don't. You know what? Not everybody could be on the golf course right now. I don't think they should keep any official scores right now.
One of the things that I have seen on the golf course is the promotion of wearing 2 gloves while you're golfing, so you're actually not touching anything with your bare hands.
Right.
Amanda, your opinion on what Bill just said?
So I just recently, I went out yesterday and played, and we actually played with 2 other people. And so, this was for me the first time I played with somebody in like a week. But, all of us, we're not sharing carts. I shared with the person I live with. So, if you're in the same household and you're doing the same things, I think that's okay. But with that said, we just kept our distance, and at the end, we didn't shake hands. We just kind of, hey, thanks. Like, it was great. So nobody was in each other's space as far as that. But we did talk about the flag. So whether or not you put the little pool noodle at the bottom, granted, I don't have to reach down into the cup, but I still have to touch the flag stick because I'm reaching my hand to grab my ball. And so, the no bunker rakes and that stuff I get and I understand. But as far as counting it towards your handicap or your index is hilarious to me because we're not even playing normal golf at this moment. And, I always complained when the rules came out. My biggest pet peeve is I think it's demoralizing to golf to be able to leave the flag stick in. And I've always felt that way. And I think you're just ruining traditional golf. But
and by the way, your boyfriend feels opposite, right?
Yeah. Right. He's like, wait a minute. But, but with that said, it's funny because we were like, oh, are we going to do automatic 2 putts? So that way we don't have to putt the second one. And I'm like, no, I'm putting out. I have to practice.
Right.
I actually have to try. And so that was a big topic of discussion between the 4 of us. And we were strangers. We didn't know the other 2, and nor do I care what they shoot. But it was still brought up. It was still a topic. And the only other issue I had was, they say to foot rake, but I did notice I had a really terrible lie at the back of a bunker. So I had to come in from a steep angle and I messed up the whole side of the bunker. And I'm like, it would suck tremendously if the next person hit their ball there. There's no chance they're getting out of that bunker. even with me kind of fixing it. So I don't know. I think handicaps need to chill for right now, but I guess in the long run, it's only hurting them if they're improving their handicap. Then when they go out and try to use it, they're going to, all of a sudden be 10 strokes higher.
It should be. Yeah, exactly. And here's the thing about this whole cup thing being raised, 2 inches or whatever it is. And I haven't been on a golf course since, I don't know, I can't remember, about a month or so. So I haven't seen what a cup looks like these days. Anyway, but here's my thought about it. If I was on the golf course and I was having the wishing, and especially like on Wednesdays, I play in a money game. And, when you're playing for money, I'm sorry, that ball better roll and better look like it's going to go in the hole, because if it touches the side of it, that's not a hole out to me. If it touches the side of the cup, you would have lipped out of that hole. To your point, Bill, if you bang it like, you're 30 feet away and you bang it, you're just hitting it, and all of a sudden it bounces up in the air or whatever case of it, there's no way you would hold that shot out.
Right.
No. And that's what I'm saying.
You're taking a full swing with your putter.
Yeah.
I think that everything should – I don't believe that any score should be logged in. That's just my – if we're not playing by the rules of golf, they were there for an intention. If you're out there right now, it's not to worry about score.
It's just not – you know what? It's just not a handicap. But when I just thought about it as I said it too, many guys are playing money rounds.
Yeah. It's not – no. I don't think it's worthwhile. If I'm going out there, and I have gone out there, it's not to keep a score. I'm going out there to have fun. I'm out there for the fresh air. I'm out there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
This is why I'm saying, I'm not a range guy. And I know there's nothing like being on a golf course to really tune up your game. I know that. I'm a big proponent of that. I want to be able to think about what club I want to use, the shot I want to use. You can't really do that on a range. I don't care how many times you're on the range. You can't simulate actual real-time shots that you have on the golf course. But just to keep my swing loose and my positioning, my swing, the impact of the club and all that stuff, I am thinking that a range is probably a perfect answer. Shot fine, close off the golf course. I think ranges should be open for people to play golf, to practice, not play, practice golf.
Yeah, because you're about 6 feet away anyway,
right?
Between those things, so that might work. But then again, you have other ways to
what?
do it at home.
Now I had just read a story. There's some ranges that are saying, yes, we are open. You can only use irons, because now they're saying tees. People have to pick up tees off the range.
Oh my gosh.
Gotcha.
Man.
There's always going to be a negative impact to something.
Yeah.
Well, and I think
regardless of what you do.
They say that, the golf course is one of the safer places, and I still believe that. I mean, I think when you look at it across the board, I think it, like Biggs had mentioned, it definitely is one of the safer places. Does that mean it's 100% proof? No.
Nope.
Does that mean
is anything 100%? Even when you're at the healthiest of health, is anything 100% proof you're not going to catch something from somebody?
No, and that's the thing. We talked about it here, and I'm like, should we? There have been the occasional times. So my grandfather, he's 88. He lives in a condo not far from me, a couple miles, and I normally go and have dinners with him, but I'm like, hey, I'm not coming to visit. I'm not coming. I just want you to, but I take him groceries. So I literally leave the groceries, and do just a handoff to him, to help him out. But at the same time, I worry about the groceries that I'm bringing, and things like that. So you could go around and around, but at what point, he has to live, I have to take him groceries.
Now, here in New Mexico, they are allowing people to actually go into the grocery stores. I know, like Costco, and by the way, not a sponsor of this show, but they're doing something kind of cool on Tuesdays and Thursdays, allowing seniors to shop an hour earlier before they even open up to allow them.
Yes.
But still, you bring up a good point. You go to stores like Walmart's in the produce section, people are picking up that tomato and then setting it right back down. Now, there's signs all over the place, do not do that, but people still do it.
Yep. Absolutely. And they're still going to do it. It doesn't matter. There's no getting away from that. I was just reading a thing out of New York. A woman went over there and she coughed intentionally by the food, and they had to throw all the food out. $35,000 worth of food had to get thrown out.
Yeah, but then did we get to throw her in jail?
But that's what I'm saying. You got the people that are going out intentionally knowing that they've already tested positive for this thing, and they don't care.
There was a story here that a woman got mad at a cashier at a big box store and coughed on her and said, "There you go. Now you have coronavirus," and she got arrested for a terrorist act.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's disgusting the things that are going on. But you see the thing with the woman from Uber Eats,
yes,
or whatever that app is, where they caught on the ringing the doorbell. She's licking her finger before she hits the doorbell, and then not only that, but she's coughing into people's food. So how stupid can you be that you're going to do that right in front of somebody's house, not knowing? I mean, it's disgusting.
This is what I mean. I mean, I know we're trying to protect the public, and we have about 45 seconds here. I know we are trying to protect the public, but at some point, when is it too much? Because at any given time, even at our healthiest time, you can transmit some kind of virus or some kind of disease to somebody, and people try it all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, go ahead, Amanda. Now, you tell us how you feel.
I just think you got to do the best you can as a human being, and just remember to be patient and loving during this time.
Yes, I agree. And regarding this whole handicap system, let's just suspend the I mean, if you're going to not play golf and people are closing golf courses, suspend the handicap system until the coronavirus until we're back with the sticks and the cups back in the holes. I'm sorry, but yeah, I agree with you, Bill the Godfather Cuevas. So I think the solution to that is suspend the handicap system. All right.
I got one last thing. That's going to be the phrase that pays. You agreed with Billy. Agree with Bill. That's it.
We better get that in writing.
I agree with Bill. That's it. That's the phrase that pays. I agree with Bill.
Oh, there's going to be a couple hundred of that for this week. I agree with Bill is the phrase that pays this week at BiGGsGolfTalk.net or BiGGsGolfTalk.com. Amanda, I know you got to get going. Thank you for hanging out with the first hour with us here on BiGGs Golf Talk, and we wish you nothing but the best of health and your family the best of health as well, sweetie.
Same to you guys.
More BiGGs Golf Talk coming your way right after this.
Early to rise, went through the pregame routine. Hit drives for more than just show. Yelled 4 to warn for balls unseen, and approached with a long way to...
A golf ball that performs for you. The Encore Avant 55, hot off the tee, a formulated core that delivers more energy and utilizes soft cell technology to achieve ultra-low 55 compression. This blend of innovation and simplicity provides more distance and greater feel. The caliber, maximum accuracy. A patent hollow metal core creates significant rifle spin while reducing side spin, allowing the ball to travel along a straighter trajectory. The Encore Elixir Tour Ball, hot list winner. The premium cast urethane cover delivers a soft and pure feel off the club face and gives the Elixir ultimate greenside control, durability, and unmatched putting performance. Be sure to check out their combo packages and sign up for the loyalty program. Gift cards are also available. For more information, their website is www.encoregolf.com. And be more with Encore.
Golf Dots is a unique, high-resolution ink transfer to personalize your golf game. Golf balls, golf shoes, clubs, Golf Dots can personalize it for you. Golf Dots conforms to USGA rules and doesn't alter the trajectory of your golf ball. Tour proven on all major tours, Golf Dots is designed and made in America. Many styles to choose from that will fit every golfer's personality. New styles are being released on a regular basis. To order your Golf Dots, visit www.golfdots.com and enter promo code BIGJOHN15. That's Big John, BIGGJON 15 for a discount on your Golf Dots. Golf Dots is available in many golf shops, such as the PGA Tour Superstore. The website for Golf Dots is www.golfdots.com. That is golf.dots.com, or call 847-829-4238. Personalize your golf game today with Golf Dots.
This is Biggs Golf Talk with Big John Vick and Bill the Golf Father Cuevas.
Welcome back to Biggs Golf Talk right here on Native Party Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and don't forget about all your smart home devices in the state-of-the-art stay-at-home studios. It is the Tito's Vodka state-of-the-art stay-at-home studio. So if you hear dogs barking in the background, doorbells ringing, UPS man at the door dropping off golf gear, well, that is why, because we are at the state-of-the-art stay-at-home studios. And social distancing, because Bill the Godfather Cuevas is in Tampa, Florida. Now, you want to talk about social distancing? That is social distancing, ladies and gentlemen. And Billy, this segment is sponsored by Scorpion 21. Feel the sting with Scorpion 21. Scorpion 21 apparel provides technology and fit to allow you to conquer any environment. Known for being quick and agile predators, these independent creatures possess the power of a sting to bring down their opponents. We're talking about scorpions. Let your rivals feel the sting when you wear Scorpion 21. Feel the sting at scorpion21.com. Billy, our next guest, we talked about it with Amanda. We talked about it at the beginning of the show about COVID-19, known as the coronavirus, and what is happening in just not in our particular states. And we talked about it with Amanda, what's happening in her state, what's happening in your state, what's happening in my state. But globally, this pandemic, and I have called it the pandemic of panic, but the fact of the matter is many of the country is at a stay-at-home order. And so what do you do? What do you do? How do you not kill each other? How do you not pull each other's hairs out, break each other's arms, throw each other against the wall? What can we do when we're at a stay-at-home order in order to keep our time, busy? I mean, a lot of us are working from home, you, myself, and, other people working from home across the country. But we have a media Mongol who is a very much of an expert on what you could do at home, and also to report on what is happening in the sports world when it comes to COVID-19, the coronavirus, and what is happening with the pandemic. We have the Major League Baseball, who's under, right now, suspension. NHL, I think, canceled the whole season now. NBA, they're doing their thing. I'm not sure where they're at right now, if they're even just, scrap their season. But Rick Limpert is a media Mongol. We like to call him Tricky Ricky here on Biggs, or Billy likes to call him Tricky Ricky.
I'm the only one allowed to call him that because he's my brother from another mother. Nobody else can call him that. It's my name. People got to think about their own names.
That's right. But Rick Limpert is joining us here on Biggs Golf Talk, and he covers a wide array of sports and news stories from the sports industry. And Rick, welcome into Biggs Golf Talk, my friend. And let me ask you this. When it comes to the golf industry, we talked a little bit about it, but I know you've been covering it extensively already. Tournaments under the LPGA umbrella, PGA Tour has been suspended, postponed, if you will. What do you see in the golf industry? A lot of states have shut down golf courses. State of Illinois has decided to reverse that decision and opening up the golf course, saying it is some form of essential business. What are you seeing across the country when it comes to the golf industry?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's affected the whole sports industry as well as everything, and I'm like you guys, working from my home and not really going anywhere, and we're really practicing on the show. We're really practicing social distancing at the best.
We are.
I'm in Atlanta. Billy's in Florida. You're scattered further west, and it's just a different time than we've ever seen, and with golf, you can still get out, and like you said, if courses are still open or facilities are still open, you can take some precautions and still get out and play and hit balls. Maybe sports like tennis also similar to that. But as far as anything else, anything organized, team activities, professional sports, anything where a crowd gathers of some sort, it's a no-go right now.
Well, where you're at in Atlanta, how's the state? Have they went to a stay-at-home order? I mean, here we are at a stay-at-home order, and they have actually passed, and you can get ticketed and fined $100 or 6 months in jail if you're caught in more than a group of 5. So you can't be in a group of 5 or more here in New Mexico if you're out and about.
Yeah, we have a stay-at-home order with a limit of 10 people right now. But as you know, things change rapidly every day. I don't know if we have ramifications if they catch you in bigger groups than that. I know some golf courses here are open. Non-essential businesses had to close yesterday, although I saw a gym was still open this morning. I don't know how that's possible. But, we're limited right now to stores and pharmacies and auto repair places or doctor visits at this time. And, I've never been to go to a Dollar Tree or a grocery store just to get out of the house for 40. So Bill, you know me, Bill. I'm not a person that likes spending a lot of time in a retail environment like that. So,
well, actually, I have been banned from the dollar store by my house because I went in there, I took a broom, and I took a round piece of candy, and I was putting across the aisles, and the people did not quite like that too much. And I said, you got to understand, I'm just going crazy, and I just had to do something to simulate my golf swing. That's all. And they're like, sir, you can't do that.
Well, that was the problem. You had to simulate your golf swing, and they thought you were having a seizure.
Well, you got ticketed in the dollar store, Bill, for buying hairspray.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just weird times we're living in, and I wrote an article last night. I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on with NASCAR, but they decided to make the best of a bad situation with their races getting canceled. They slid into their television spot on Fox Sports that the esports, the video game, the drivers of the cars got in simulators and were doing esports from their homes at races, and hundreds of thousands of people turned out to watch it. We got TV ratings, and they're doing it now. They're going to do a full schedule, the NASCAR races as iRacing esports, and you can watch it on TV or on the internet. So my article is, are other sports going to follow that? Would you guys pay, or would you guys watch video game experts or the pros playing, PGA Tour 20 on television? I mean, if we're desperate enough for sports, this is a real possibility.
You know what? I agree with you 100%, except for the everyday folks that, unfortunately, the way we're getting hit money-wise, I think if they made it free to everybody to give back, I think it's going to keep all their fans happy, everyone. It might create new fans, people that don't watch racing. So at this particular point, who really can afford to spend money, with the stimulus package going? But I would love to see it. I love watching it, but I just don't know about cost effectiveness. I think right now you give back to all your fans. You know what? Right now, I'd even watch tennis. And I know you're a big tennis guy.
Bill, that hurts, Bill.
No. I mean, I know you are, dude. You covered Miss America. You know what I mean? You're my idol. You do it all. But I just, the only thing is, cost wise, with the way things are, I mean, it's tough out here, and I would love to watch it and see new things. But I don't know.
However, let me put this out there, and Rick, you probably couldn't agree to this. You would be reaching out to a whole new market if you were to air video game competitions with PGA Tour players, with MLB players. As a matter of fact, I just got finished seeing Mike Trout taking a golf shot off his indoor balcony onto the floor into a cup with a golf ball, and it's going viral on social media. But to see like ESPN to air some kind of competition on PGA Tour 20, MLB 20, NFL 20, whatever the case might be, Madden 20, whatever the case might be. But now then you're reaching out to a whole new audience, because there are guys, professional gamers out there that would watch that And your average fan, your average golf fan will watch the golf competition. Your baseball fan will watch a baseball competition, that type of thing. But would also, for golf, I think, would reach out to a brand new audience with your gamers, and these gamers saying, hey, maybe I can get out of the house and maybe I could beat this guy, on the golf course itself, But that's a good opportunity, too. And I agree with Billy. I would not necessarily pay for it because obviously everybody is their money is minimal to what they're doing with it. And I'm fortunate that half our household is still continuing to work because she is actually an essential company that they have to continue to work to keep Albuquerque, New Mexico, and statewide going. And so we're fortunate, but there's households that with two people working in a household, both of them are down. So I think when you talk about money, I think you got to minimize the spending in that household.
Yeah. That's about the only
thing.
Yeah,
I mean, the slots are already on television. We're filling with whatever now. Make it available for people to watch. See if there's some traction with the golf world. I mean, you guys said it. What's the demographic that every sporting event and every market's trying to reach right now? The millennials. So they're used to the video game world. They watch it on Twitch and YouTube, and there's people that pay to turn out to watch people play video games. It's something that I never thought would happen when I was playing my Atari 2600 back in the day. So,
that one joystick and that one button.
That one stick with that little dot going. Bloop.
Yeah, and you know what? You
those
look
games
at
were cutting edge back then.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Now you have a joystick that has like 40 buttons on. You have no idea what those 40 buttons do on a
and if you hit them in the right 7 to 8 combination, they do wicked things for you.
But
and if you pay extra, you get turbo boost or something.
Yes, and you see the key? Pay extra.
Yeah,
give it to me for free. I don't know how to play this game.
Rick, let's move in a direction now. People are stay at home. People are quarantined. What can individuals do at home to keep their time, busy? And probably number one thing right now people are doing, and probably when it's been needed, unfortunately it takes a pandemic to do it, is people are spending time with their families. But what can they do as a family to make the time pass by?
Well, perfect time. I mean, you can work on various aspects of your golf game at home. So I think this is the perfect time to introduce when you have the full and undivided attention of somebody younger. You can maybe this might be a time to grow the sport of golf by accident because there's nothing else to do. You hate to say that, but I mean, I've been trying out some few golf gadgets here I'll be writing about that you can use by yourself at home. One was something very simple from the PGA show that I picked up a couple of these. So it basically looks like a marking coin, but it has a line going through the middle of it. It's from a company called On Point. And it basically helps with your marker on the green, helps you line up your putts with the line that's on there. And actually, something so simple like that, it triggers something in your brain. And I've gone into my practice little putting green or in the office and helped. Like I said, it gives your brain something to look at, and it's helped me hit the line on the putts better than I've been doing. So I mean, something like that. Also a great time if you want to hit balls in your backyard. The golf net market is, as you guys know, is huge, and some are better than others. But you can get a nice golf net that you can swing freely into in your backyard for around $100. A company called Galileo has them, and if you look on this is a way where you can swing and hit balls in your backyard, and you don't have to chase the balls at all. So things simple like that, or little indoor putting greens, 3 by 10 are under $50. So economical way to pass some time and maybe improve your golf game.
What about non-golf related things? What I like, you and we had a conversation. Me, Bill, and you had a conversation during a commercial break about breaking into the old school board games.
Yeah, this is luckily my parents keep everything from our childhood. So I mean, going through my parents' basement is like it's like that at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the warehouse where they had all the things boxed up. Who knows what was in there? So it's kind of like going into my parents' basement. But I've pulled a few things out of there that may register with some people our age as we get older. And one of them, what my brother and I used to have hours, I mean days and weeks of fun with, was the little White Shadow basketball game with the ping pong ball. You put the little cardboard backdrops up on each end of and you had the little catapult things that would launch the ping pong ball into the. I mean, I can't tell you guys how much fun we had. Then we turned it into our own shooting the ping pong ball from across the room, trying to get into the into the hoop as well, which my mom was having heart attacks with in the kitchen as we were shooting around vases and furniture and that type of thing. But I've been pulling some of these things out to see if they still hold up in this day and age, and it's interesting. How about you guys remember something called Light Bright?
Oh yeah, yes.
Light Bright, yes. The commercial just smacked me in the face just now. I remember it well.
Well, there was an electronic little thing with a big heat lamp in it, which I don't think is real safe. And you put the little colored pegs. You put the little colored pegs in to try to create this. Well, there's new versions of that out. One called Sense Art, where you it's a little safer and a little more high tech based on that. But it means if you have those objects, that pull some of these things out and see if your kids are kind of interested in what we did back in the day. And have internet and cell phones and tablets, and that's how we pass the time.
I've been talking to people, and besides whipping out the old school games like Sorry and Trouble and Kerplunk and all these other things, people actually going like way back to when we actually use our brains and reading books together. They're reading books together. They're going and they're doing those jigsaw puzzles. They're buying 500-piece puzzles or bigger and doing it as a family just to get that time. Because now people are forced, because if you turn on the TV, unless you have some kind of subscription, and I mean, how many days are you going to sit there and watch all your news? And it's bad news and more bad news. So more and more people are not turning on those TV. I don't even want to look at my TV.
I know.
I'm tired of it. I mean, everything is about virus, bad news. And you want to break away from that. So I think I've talked more to my kids than I ever have in the last several months. You know what I mean? But because you know how bad it was that they would text me. They could be in the room or literally, 10 feet away, and they're texting. Are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Can I talk to you? And I'm like, well, why don't you just come and talk to me? Why are you texting me? You know what I mean? So I think while this is a terrible thing, I think more and more people are starting to communicate within the household and use it. I don't know if it's a good thing. I expect the divorce rate to go up really, really high after this time. But
that or more babies will be coming out of this.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of. I mean, I don't think everybody's practicing social distancing at home, but I just think if you can look at the positives around it. I mean, I know it's gloomy and stuff, but there are positives. I mean, people are actually putting their phones away and their computers because they're tired. They're tired of looking at that stuff.
Yep.
We're actually getting some rest now. I mean, you guys were like me. We have a busy schedule. We're traveling around. I mean, it used to be this my favorite thing. I'll get to it when I have time. Well, now we have time, so it's a chance for us to do some things maybe that we weren't able to get to, and I find that kind of therapeutic as well. So I bet you guys never thought we'd be having a conversation like this on your show, but this is a weird and for some people a scary time.
Yes,
so it's I think we got to make the best of it, and we're fine right now. But if this continues on, I mean, Bill, what kind of shape are you going to be in the next 2 months if we're still doing the same thing?
I will be an absolute monster. I am riding every morning and lifting for at least an hour and 10 minutes at night. So
and same here. I'm riding. As a matter of fact, there will be this weekend 2 more product reviews released on the site, we're getting heavy traffic, and I'm sure Rick, you're getting that information as well, getting more traffic to you because people are listening to podcasts more, and Bill, you mentioned it. People are sick and tired of the news. So they're listening to podcasts, they're online, they're reading articles. For golfers, they want some kind of golf content, no matter if it's a product review or what, but they're just tired of reading about the COVID-19 stories, and they want something else. And that's what, Rick, you are giving them, we are giving them, and that leads to my next question, my last question for you, Rick, because we're at the end of the interview here. How can people find you and get the information that they want and they need?
Well, thanks, guys. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Vic, and even Bill, too. So, Wireless Wednesday, like you said, my hits are up. I hate to say it, but hits are up double since it started, wirelesswednesday.live. I've been putting pictures of some of the unique things I'm finding in my parents' basement up on my Instagram at Limpert Rick, and just various other places. You'll see my articles out there, Yahoo and Florida Sports and Travel. So locally in Ritz-Carlton magazine. So I like staying in touch with you guys. I like listening to you guys each week. How you're interpreting this, and this is really something that none of us. 9/11 was a quick reset, kind of. This is going to be a little longer.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, Rick, thank you so much for joining us here on Biggs Golf Talk, my friend, and we're looking forward to having you again soon back here on Biggs Golf Talk. Good luck to you, and stay safe and healthy.
Be safe, you guys. We'll talk to you hopefully soon.
Thank you.
Coming up next here on Biggs Golf Talk, retired Colonel fighter pilot James Quick will be joining us along with Sun Country Golf Club to talk about where the golf industry and the golf courses are looking and the state of the art of the business side of it here on Biggs Golf Talk. Dana Lehner is going to be joining us along with retired Colonel fighter pilot James Quick. We'll be right back right after this.
Hey, this is Boxer Shorts, and I've got some big news. Biggs Golf Talk is now on iHeartRadio. You can download their app for free or go to iHeart.com and search for Biggs Golf Talk. And make sure while you're there that you favorite us so that you'll know when we're on. Join all the other millions of listeners on iHeartRadio and listen to Biggs Golf Talk. We're the best. Right.
Still using an old golf GPS watch? It's time to upgrade to ShotScope. ShotScope isn't just a golf watch, it's a fully automated golf performance tracking system on your wrist. ShotScope gives you access to over 100 tour-level statistics, get putting analysis, short game breakdown, even find out how far you're booming your driver. All data is captured automatically by the groundbreaking ShotScope golf performance tracking system. ShotScope, the ultimate golf watch. Find out more at shotscope.com.
Stop swinging out of your shoes and get squared up with Squares shoes. Balance, stability, accuracy, distance, and comfort. It all starts with a patented Squares toe that allows the golfer to set up properly on every shot, with more room in the forefoot area that provides full range of motion in your feet. Squares integrated a heel stabilizer system that assists with rotational torque. A custom removable insole integrates compression zones that match the pressure point areas, linking the inner sole all the way to the cleats. One of the most vocal concerns from golfers has been tying their shoes multiple times throughout a round. Stay put laces with the silicone squares printed down the lace that allows you to comfortably form the shoe to your foot and lock in place without having to adjust or retie during the round. So square up your shots with Squares shoes. It's hip to wear Squares. Their website is www.squares.com. That is SQAIRZ.com.
Go for warmth. Go for beauty. Go for a show. Go for flavor. Go for perspective. Go for love. Go for tranquility. Go for thrills. Go for color. Go for good. Go for Puerto Rico. Go now.
For more information, the website is discoverpuertorico.com.
Golf talk for golfers on Big's Golf Talk. Back to Bill the Golf Father Cuevas and Big John Vick.
Welcome back to Big's Golf Talk right here on Native Party Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your smart home devices and whatever podcast app that you're using. All you have to do is just search for Big's Golf Talk, BiGGs Golf Talk, our website, www.bigsgolftalk.net or .com, BiGGsGolfTalk.com. As a segment sponsored by Squares Golf Shoes, revolutionizing the footwear industry. Squares, it's hip to wear squares. Align your shots up today. That includes on the green as well, and make more putts. But align your shots up by wearing Squares footwear and help lower your scores. Squares.com is their website. SQAIRZ.com. As a matter of fact, we have a Squares contest happening at Big's Golf Talk in the final days here of our March giveaway. And Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas, it looks like there's a lot of people that wants to be hip to wear squares.
They sure are. These things are taking off like banshees out there. They're everywhere. People are posting their pictures. A lot of social media stuff's been going on. As we would expect, people are home. They're looking for the new stuff. So when this thing is finally over so they can get out. We've been talking about them since January when we first found them at the PGA show. So I think it's cool. It's a really cool product. I love wearing them. I've been wearing them. I've been lucky enough that we can still golf here in Florida, although I just got notification yesterday that things are changing. They're becoming a little bit more difficult, to golf, but we can still get out there and do it if we want to.
All right, our next guest here on Big's Golf Talk. The USGA is doing their part when it comes to COVID-19 virus and trying to distance or provide some kind of help when it comes to golfers out on the golf course for those golf courses that are still open. Join us. He is a former rules official with the USGA, but he's been on this show because he's also the president of the Folds of Honor New Mexico chapter. Retired Colonel, fighter pilot James Quick is joining us from the Air Force. Retired Colonel James Quick, fighter pilot, joining us here in studio, keeping our social distancing for COVID-19 protection as we are at our home state-of-the-art studios, Tito's Vodka state-of-the-art studios here at the house in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Colonel Quick, welcome into Big's Golf Talk.
Well, thanks for the invitation to talk.
First off, how are you? I mean, you're considered to be in the senior division of this whole COVID-19 virus. How are you and your wife holding up?
Oh, we're doing great. It's where we live. It's pretty easy to isolate yourself because we're living in an isolated area. But you still have to go out. You have to be prudent about what you do. And last week I went down to – I'm not playing golf right now, but I went down to visit with the guys that do play, and they were throwing around a lot of ideas on how they could minimize their exposure to catching the COVID-19 virus. And I went online just to see what was going on with the USGA and the PGA. And USGA at their website, usga.org, has published a COVID-19 rules and handicap FAQ suggestion for golfers. And the reason that they're taking this up is that the COVID-19 virus clings to things. Like, for example, it'll live 4 hours on copper. It'll live up to 4 days on plastic. And do we have any plastic on a golf course? How
Absolutely.
About your golf cart? How about your golf grips? How about everything connected with what you do, the flagstick in particular? So I was kind of interested to see what the USGA was going to do about the things you have to change to minimize your exposure and manage the risk of this virus until it, hopefully, in the warmer weather, it'll start going away. But the bottom line with the USGA is they leave things up in a large degree to the committee at each golf course. And here in New Mexico, we have two types of golf. We've got public golf and private golf. And the governor's already decided that we can't have public golf. But they have agreed that the private golf courses in town can close down their facilities, that is the clubhouse, the bar, the restaurant, and still permit people to go out and play golf. So that kind of begs the question, how are you going to modify what you do on the golf course to conform with the rules of golf? with respect to handicapping and all of that kind of stuff. So their 2-page FAQ sheet directly addresses things like the flag stick, the let me see here, the bunkers and bunker rakes, scorecards and scoring, and modifications to the hole, not requiring the players to hole out. And these are kind of interesting. You know, as it's pretty easy to go on the website and find this information, but we'll just kind of go over it in outline form real quick. The flag stick's made out of plastic. Or aluminum.
Yeah.
Aluminum coated in a plastic-based paint. So you have a chance there when you grab it to take it out of there might have been somebody ahead of you with the virus. So that
3 days
might
earlier.
be polluted.
Yeah.
So I've seen things like sponges that are wet and alcohol or whatever where you can grab the flag. But, you know, the current rules of golf in the last rules change let you leave the flag in. So just leave it in. And if the committee decides to set up a golf course without flag sticks, they can do that. And the best way to support that is to provide a chart to the players for where the hole or the cup is located. Another thing they can do is to not require the players to hole out. So some golf courses, Santa Ana was one before they stopped playing, was where they're going to put the cup sticking up about 1 inch out of the ground, so that
if you touch the cup,
if you hit the cup, you made the putt.
And Billy, you in Tampa right now, and you've been doing some golfing. You've been experiencing something.
Yeah, we've done that for the last 2 weeks. The cups have been raised on the greens. There is no touching of the flags. The flags were in, but they were surrounded by the floaties inside the cup, so you couldn't go inside the cup because I guess they found people were still trying to jack with it, even though it was like 1.5 inches above the ground. They still didn't want people going inside the cup, so they filled the cup up, so you can't touch the flag, you can't do any of that stuff. Right now, the rules just got more stringent for us here, where you are allowed to use golf carts. There's no golf carts here in Florida whatsoever. Everything's walking. Everything is on a first come, first served basis, if you can believe it. And it's working on the honor system. So the 3 city courses here, for the Tampa Sports Authority, you literally go in, if you put your money in a box, you don't talk to nobody. There's nobody manning it. There's no machines. If you have a credit card, you call somebody that's locked inside of the clubhouse and give them their information. And I honestly, no tee times. There are absolutely no tee times, no nothing. I don't know how it's going to work. The system that they had where you weren't, walking is fine and everything like that. They did the one person at a time. You had a tee time, you went out. There was structure to it. Right now, I don't know if they're going to succeed the way that they have it set up. These new rules that they have self-implemented to work with what they're giving. I don't know if it's going to work. I know I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to be part of the large gathering and now there's nobody worrying about who's on the first tee or anything. You literally have free run of a golf course, which I don't know if it's safe to have that kind of flexibility out there.
Well, you have a choice. You can play golf under those conditions, or you can take a break from golf. And,
yes, I can tell you, my foursome, we're taking a break.
Yeah.
We have opted to take a break. I think it's too dangerous. And the thing is, we even with the rules and the one person checking in per foursome and no touching money and everything that they had before, it worked, but you still had too many people that were just showing up and congregating. So when you have people that can do whatever they want at will and there's nobody going to be able to monitor it, I think there's a problem. I think it's going to be a bigger problem for them. I would have just rather them shut down. Here's a box. Put your $20 in it and go have fun.
Well, some people are also, some courses that are still in business is using the electronic method as far as a form of payment. Mm-hmm. But Colonel Quick, you got some other things there, don't you?
Well, I guess kind of the bottom line is that it's the USGA provides the kind of guidance you need in order to carry on with the modifications that you can make and still log an official round of golf for your handicap or even hold competitions. That's what this website really does for you, is to give you some ideas and some guidelines to set up a golf program cognizant of the COVID-19 virus. But, a lot of these kind of things we're seeing were the way we played golf about 40 or 50 years ago. And I remember being stationed in England. You never saw anybody in the clubhouse. The only person that was there was before you teed off was somebody getting the bar open, and after you teed off, pouring you a beer. And then you put your money in a slot, and it was honor code, and out you went, And you carried your clubs, and you walked as fast as you could, and if you weren't done in 3 hours, you were a slow player.
Let's talk some business here on the business side of it. And coming up next is our next guest here on Biggs Golf Talk from Sun Country Golf Club, and Dana Lehner is going to be joining us right now on the phone line. Dana Lehner is the executive director at Sun Country Golf House. He's very, very experienced in the business side of the golf industry. And Dana, first off and foremost, I hope you are healthy and everybody is healthy in your family as well.
Yeah, well, we're doing good here. I'm just staring at our 3 dogs, and nobody's coughing or has a fever. So we're counting our lucky stars at this point.
Now, here in New Mexico, the governor had just announced a total stay-at-home, and all businesses that's non-essential, that includes golf courses, are to shut down operation immediately. But before that, you have instilled the USGA outline that Colonel Quick was talking about earlier with the raised cups, not touching the flags. How's the business, in your feeling, in your opinion, how's the business affected here in New Mexico?
Well, it's definitely not ideal by any means. Golf was doing really, really well this spring. And then even when the virus sort of started to hit and we started practicing social distancing, golf courses were really taking off when we had that weekend. I think it was the weekend before last where there really wasn't any sports on TV. And I think a lot of people were getting cabin fever. And so I heard from multiple facilities in our area that were doing what they quoted as record rounds for those weekends. So, golf seemed to be positioned as, a recreational type of avenue to be able to practice social distancing and responsibly get some recreation. So definitely disappointing that this has all happened, and it's going to hit the bottom line for a lot of our facilities, unfortunately.
State of Illinois has retracted and start Monday are going to be opening up the golf courses with certain restrictions and obviously stricter restrictions as far as not even allowing golf carts on the course. We Bill the Golffather Cuevas spoke to it earlier in Tampa. They have moved to no golf carts, walking only. Do you think our governor should reopen that path? Because people are just going to go crazy inside their houses, and there are certain steps that you could take outdoors where allowing people to walk dogs on private clubs and people golfing on private clubs, just no clubhouse. Couldn't we do that on the public side of it too?
Sure. I think your point is well taken. That's for sure. I definitely don't want to get in the business of, making, judgments on behalf of the governor. I don't, our Colonel Quick and the rest of our board doesn't pay me enough to be able to do that. That's for sure. But, but at the same time, I think if there is, a world where, a new normal where we're trying to get people some recreation and get them outdoors a little bit and doing it responsibly, at the same time, it definitely seems as if with the right precautions in place that golf could play a role, going down that road.
Billy, the things that you see in Tampa, pretty soon, I think they're going to, you mentioned earlier, there's such restrictions that you felt, why not just close all the courses? But there's some people out there that do walk and that do get that exercise that says, you know what, I don't mind walking.
Well, my thing is and I don't know if the private sector is going to be as open as the city and public golf courses. I don't see the benefit for everyone if there's no one monitoring. You're having self-policing, and that brings trouble, I think. You're relying on people, for one, to be totally honest, to go. There's no tee times. And I'm sure if you have a private club, you're not going to open up your club and say, okay, just here, put money in this box and go have at it. If you show up, you play. If you don't show up, okay. And everybody just keeps going out. Nobody's going to put that type of stress on your golf course. There's nothing. There's no rangers. There's absolutely no contact with anybody. I don't know if that's safe. Yeah, I'm out for people to play.
Sure.
I love being out there. I love golf. I mean, I'll play golf in everything except cold weather. But I just don't think with these found freedoms, I don't know if it's going to be worth it for me to get out there and play. Because who's going to monitor slow play?
Right.
You have people that are walking. Right now, Florida, we are in the day. We got a lot of people above the ages that are concerning, and they're still on the golf course. I'm still seeing them on the golf course. So if they're not worried about themselves, how are these other kids that are showing up? And now they're saying, bring your own stuff. Well, you have people sneaking in alcohol before that and acting like fools. Now you're saying, hey, bring your own snacks, bring your own drinks. I just don't know if it's safe-wise to do it.
And
I love the fact that
the responsibility, because, I mean, you talk about people bringing their own lunch, bringing their own things. We've seen idiots on the golf course litter up the golf course and with nobody on duty. Yeah.
Yep.
Dana, let me ask you this. Day-to-day operations, are you guys allowed to do work on the golf course?
So here in New Mexico, the governor, in our association, our geographical footprint is actually the entire state of New Mexico, and then the El Paso greater metro area. So what we call basically West Texas. And so we've got a public health order that's been given by the governor here in New Mexico, and we have a public health order that's been given by the mayor in El Paso, and they are similar. But there are some distinctions in there. The New Mexico governor basically said that golf courses are closed. And so one of the very first kind of emergency advocacy decisions that we made was to really press hard to make sure that maintenance could keep going. That way our golf courses didn't die, because that would be, it's already a catastrophe, but that would obviously be a huge catastrophe if we lost all of our golf courses as well when we are ready to get back, running again, and running tournaments and daily play and that kind of thing. So luckily, the state of New Mexico agreed that our maintenance teams are considered essential. So we're able to have teams out there now taking care of the golf course. So that's really the limit of the golf industry at this point in New Mexico. Now, for El Paso, it's a little bit different in that their public health order actually doesn't require golf courses to shut down. So what has happened is the public facilities there that are all tied to some sort of municipality have decided that they would go ahead and shut down. And the reasoning is because that public health order, while it says that the golf courses can stay open, but they can't open up the golf shops and interact with the public. So therefore, the public courses kind of felt like, well, it's that's probably fairly difficult to interact with the customers in that manner without having a golf shop open. And at the same time, we probably don't want to, contribute to a lack of social distancing. So they went ahead and closed the golf courses, while the private facilities there are actually able to stay open if they want, since members don't really even need to go into the golf shop. They can just go out on the golf course. So it sounds like as of today, we have a couple private facilities that are still open, but with a lot of precautions in place, whereas, they can either walk or it's one person to a cart. The teams at the golf courses have pulled out the golf carts early in the morning, and then they basically just disappear so the members can show up and grab a cart or go out and walk if they want to. So a couple of distinctions there, but for the most part, 99% of our facilities are closed here in our area.
We have about 3 minutes here. Colonel Quick has something. He's still with us in the studio.
Hey, Dana. Of course, the question on everybody's mind is, we know this is eventually going to peter out. It'll have to apogee first, reach its worst case, and then it's going to taper off. So the question in my mind always is, and probably everybody's thinking about it somehow or another, I know the president is that how do we know when that happens? When are we on the backside of the curve? I was looking today at a couple of medical websites, and one of the measures they say is that when there's 1-to-1 infection rate, and we're at 2-to-1 now, when it drops to 1-to-1, that's an indication of when we can go play golf again, I guess. I don't know. But that was such a complicated answer. I never really got the gist of that. But at some point, our cases are going to go down. The infection curve is going to decrease. The number of illnesses, the number of tests, et cetera, start going down. So when will we go back and advocate for a controlled return to golf, do you think, Dana?
Sure. Well, I will tell you that we're having conversations as we speak around advocating. So what we're trying to do is kind of get a feel for, push, and at the same time, not antagonize anybody up in Santa Fe. And so, in fact, through our lobbyists and through our partners and our leaders in the Sun Country golf world, we've had several conversations all the way up to the governor's office. And so, at this point in time, it sounds as if not quite ready to go that far. But I think the hope is, and it's going to be a day-by-day proposition, I think, from here on out. But the hope is that we can have continued consistent communication with our leaders from the local city level all the way up to the highest decision maker in the state, being the governor and obviously the mayor in El Paso, and just consistently talk about where golf lies in our world as far as when we can get back to business, and does that mean they can provide some people some recreation, therefore they maybe would be willing to roll golf out a little bit earlier than they would other recreations or other industries, and the hope is that maybe golf can play a role there, because I think golf really does set us up to be one of the first avenues to get us back to a new normal.
Hey, I agree. That's great advice, and that was a very politically correct answer, and I think it'll go a long way. That's the way you have to talk about it.
Absolutely. Well, Dana Lehner, thank you so much for joining us from Sun Country Golf House, and we appreciate your time here to talk about the business side of what's happening with COVID-19 and the golf industry. And we hope to have you on to talk more about Sun Country itself at some point in time. And, stay healthy, and we wish you guys nothing but the best of luck, and we hope to see you out there soon.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having us on. Would love to talk golf at any point, whenever you're ready to do it. So, but stay safe and healthy, guys, and have a good day.
Coming up next is Big's Product of the Week right here on Big's Golf Talk. We'll be right back right after this.
Have you ever seen a tour pro line up a putt with a dirty ball? No way. A clean ball rolls accurately, and accurate putts mean lower scores. The solution? Ready Putt. It's the putter cover reinvented. Ready Putt has a patented ball cleaner that's made to absorb and retain water. All you need to do is add water, and it remains wet throughout your round, giving your ball the perfect shine. It also has a magnetic surface to hold your ball marker and divot repair tool. Let's say you switch putters from round to round using a blade, mid-mallet, or large mallet. Ready Putt Original has you covered. Look, putting is hard enough. Accurate putts start with a clean ball, and a clean ball starts with Ready Putt.
For more information about Ready Putt, visit ReadyPutt.com. That is ReadyPutt.com. Clean it and sink it. The United States Golf Challenge, sponsored by Tito's Handmade Vodka, is searching for the country's best two-player teams to compete against an international field in the 54-hole Ryder Cup-style event, known prestigiously as the International Kings Cup. The International Kings Cup is played in remembrance of golf's greatest ambassador, Mr. Arnold Palmer, whose honesty, integrity, sportsmanship, and commitment to excellence represent the ideals for which the game of golf is known. The road to the Kings Cup begins with a national qualifier. Two-player teams compete in an 18-hole qualifier playing best ball using net scoring. For more information, to sign up, and to find a national qualifier near you, their website is usgolfchallenge.com. That is usgolfchallenge.com.
This is Big's Product of the Week. Each week, Big John and the Golf Father select a golf product to feature. Here is Big John Vick and Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas, with this week's Product of the Week.
And Big's Product of the Week is sponsored by the U.S. Golf Challenge with Tito's Homemade Vodka. Check out usgolfchallenge.com to find a local national qualifier in your area. However, if you are around on June 15th in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, we do have an event called BGT 18-Hole Challenge at Cannon Club at Four Hills, and we're looking forward to that. That is going to be a national local qualifier for you to play at the national championships at Myrtle Beach and make Team USA. That's happening on June 15th. And we are in the Tito's Homemade Vodka state-of-the-art home studio because we are ordered in New Mexico to stay at home. Do not go to work. Do not do anything unless you are an essential business. And the lovely governor of New Mexico does not think that Biggs Golf Talk is an essential business, and I happen to disagree. I think we are an essential business, Bill the Golffather Cuevas.
Yes, we are essential to be in everybody's home.
That's right.
And we're social distancing, bro.
We are social distancing. Yes, we
are. We are really. I got the phone 6 feet away from me.
And earlier on, we had the colonel, retired colonel, fighter pilot James Quick from the Folds of Honor, New Mexico, talking about coronavirus and golf and how it's impacting the golf courses in the New Mexico area. But we are still social distancing in the studio. So
absolutely,
he was 6 feet away from me, and I was 6 feet away from him, and and he is up there. And we had to really be careful and make sure that we kept our distance socially.
You keep telling yourself that. It's all good. It's all good.
All right. Bill the Golffather Cuevas. Now, it's not very often. As a matter of fact, it has never happened in the 15 years.
It's never happened.
Yes.
Never.
In the 15 years of being on the air with Biggs Golf Talk, we have never selected a Biggs product of the week without having the putter or the product in our hand. In this case, it's a putter. Now, granted, you heard me say not having it in our hands. We have tried it.
Absolutely.
At the PGA Merchandise Show.
Yes.
And we did interview Angelo.
Yes, we have.
And I hope I do not really mess this up, but Angelo Papadourakis. Did I mess that up, Angelo?
You did really good, John. It's Papadourakis, but you said it with a little Greek flair, so I really like it.
There you go. Papadourakis. Yep.
All right, but Angelo's joining us from Saks Parente. They are Biggs product of the week. Saks Parente, an engineering trifecta from them. They re-engineered and remastered the putter grip, the shaft, and the head. Working together, these combined technologies created the ultimate putting instrument. That's right, it is an instrument. Each part plays an integral role in redistributing the weight throughout the club. Their patent ULBP cannot exist without this unified approach, and ULBP stands for ultra low balance point. And that is a proven technology in the putter weight distribution where the golfer can feel the head as it travels through the putting arc. And I tell you what, I have tried the new putter that they have coming out, and the stuff that they have done is just fabulous, from the grips to the shafts and to the head. This is just proven to make more putts. And the Series 66 is just an instrument in its own. Angel, am I saying this wrong about this, your new putter that's come out for 2020?
Well, you are spot on, John. I mean, the 66, number one, you guys got to see it at the PGA show.
And tried it, yes.
And tried it, right, and rolled a few with it. You know how good it felt, right? Just like all our putters in our line, right? That ultra-low balance point makes it feel so natural, makes your release so natural. You don't have to, fight it or try to steer it. That putter's going to want to release on its own because that's the way, literally, from the physics of it, it's set up to do. So, you feel it right away. And then, obviously, you guys, I mean, you saw it. It's a beautiful putter. Yeah. And we always say it looks like jewelry, right? But it putts incredibly well. And that's, as we say, is the sort of defining theme across every putter we make. We want to get it in your hand so you make more putts.
Now,
we want you to get it in our hands for us to make more putts.
Hint, hint.
It's coming. I swear it's coming.
I believe in loving you, man. I just got a razz. It's my personality. I can't help myself. It's my alter ego.
Listen,
and I feel bad if you didn't give me a hard time.
Angelo, there was two products that I tried at demo day because obviously with the wind conditions, I don't know how you guys stood out there all day long, but two products. That was Square Shoes and Saks Parente putters on the green. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, even under windy conditions, this putter was just phenomenal. And I like that ultra low balance point. You can really feel it as you're making your stroke.
You really can, John. And the thing about it is that's how it all started. So Rich Parente and Steve Sachs both had an idea of how do we make, putters better. Now, we, of course, call them putting instruments because they really are tools. They're just a refined, not only head, shaft, grip. We really redesigned it from the bottom up. So with that thought in mind, they came out with ultralight shafts. So literally our shafts are about 1 gram an inch, which is incredible. The grips are all less than 35 grams, which is half or a third of the weight of a normal grip. And then combine that with really premium designs in the head. So a lot of weight, heel and toe, so you have a very stable head. Super high MOI. So even though they're blades, some of our models are blades, they putt with a higher MOI, meaning more stable, less resistant to twisting than mallets. And then, of course, our mallets are off the charts in terms of their MOI. And one last thing, and it's about our technologies, we also believe in weight forward. So we bring the weight forward towards the center of gravity, towards the face, so it reduces what we'll call gear effect. A lot of times people put a lot of weight on the back end of a mallet.
Yeah.
Well, if you put the weight on the back end and you mishit it, which we all do, right? We're golfers. We mishit them a little bit. You get that gear effect, which I always say, it's nice to have a little English on the ball in playing pool. You really don't want it in golf. It doesn't help you a whole lot.
And actually, I mean, that the Series 66, the cavity back flange blade that you guys have for this year, I tried that out. You guys didn't have it in left hand, so I actually tried it out in right hand. And even as a right-handed, me putting as a right-hander, and Billy, you tried it out, that actually doesn't feel like a blade. It actually feels, and I'm not a blade guy, and I would game this because here's why. Yeah. I'm a half mallet type of guy. And the Series 66 definitely feels like that half mallet.
Mm-hmm. It really does. I mean, I really enjoyed using it. It actually fit perfectly into what I'm used to using and what I'm used to gaming and playing. So it worked perfect for me. Overall, I loved everything about it, the design, the style. And I know some alleged promises were made that they were going to make it even better, and I'm trying to have a really hard time figuring out how can they make this bad boy even better for the golf father. So that's what I'm trying, because I can't even imagine it
the
being
gold,
any better.
the silver, the black. I mean, I feel like I want to write a review on this right away.
And we haven't done it yet.
And give the listeners an idea of what this looks like, and give them the pictures and give them everything of what this, because this is just like it is truly an instrument, Bill, the Golf Father Cuevas.
It really is, and the thing is that when we were there, how odd is it that the two things that stuck out the most during demo day to us were actually on the same green at the same time. So first we saw, our shoes that we went, we'll call them shoes, golf shoes. So we went and we saw our golf shoes. Then we went, and our next stop was Sachs Parente on the green. And all their people happened to be wearing squares. So they know that it's hip to wear squares.
That was actually going to be one of my questions to Angelo. Angelo, your whole team was on the green. And squares, squares have been a part of our show, and now is a sponsor on our show.
Yep.
But what's your testimonial to Squares golf shoes?
Well, first of all, you guys did notice, so very good eye. Well, in the 40-mile-an-hour wind that we were all out there with, that you alluded to earlier, look, they felt great, right? I mean, it was just, I put them on right away. They were comfortable. And what we really like, too, is, one of the things about Squares, and people will see it, I'm sure, when they go to your website, click on anything to do with Squares, that front of that toe, when you get down to putting, right, it's a really nice alignment system. You have that square front, you line that up in the direction you want to go. So as people that are very concerned about, golfers making more putts, we thought this was a really cool advancement in shoes. And once again, right, we're a company that's about technology and bringing technology and new ideas into the game. that's why we teamed up with Squares to be able to show off their products at Demo Day too, because they have that same mindset.
They do.
We want to bring something different to the golfer that's going to help them play the game that we all love. So we were really happy to have them on. We all enjoyed them. Quite frankly, I can't wait to get out to the golf course and wear them. And I also can't wait for my 66, by the way. I thought we were only going to have one razzing section of the program. But I can't wait for my 66 to come in as well. And I'll tell you, seriously, because of what's going on in the world, and we all know, what's going on in the world, obviously supply chains are global.
Yes.
And, that's one of the reasons that, luckily we got, just a very small amount to be able to show people at the PGA show. But we're hoping, as things return to normal, as, people are talking about getting to the other side of this curve, that we'll start getting that 66 in. Now, granted, we have the rest of our lineup. So if people love a true blade or a mallet or even the Model 18, which we introduced later in the year, last year, that really beautiful, looks like the old 6602, with the cavity sole and that sort of nice rounded backside to it. Those are all there. So, we're just waiting for that brand new 66, which I know you guys love. Everybody loves it. But remember, the whole line putts like that. What we wanted to do is just take things, we'll call them classical designs, but bring up the performance to a level, that meets our specifications.
And for people that don't know, you got the Series 39, which is for both left-hander and right-hander. It doesn't matter. Either way you want to swing it, it goes. And I've tried it, and I have videos up where I had my friends that are left-handed putting with it for the very first time and nearly sinking like a 30-foot putt. So they are great technology, every single one of them. So I want people to go over there and visit. But I want people to know, do you feel, I know the Series 66 is more allegedly conventional, we'll say. Yes, you have a ton of technology in it that's going to help it, so it sets it apart. But I think the design, is going to be more for people. Now, you guys have some new partnerships that recently happened, and this is part of it, with the Series 66 and your full line. Who did you guys partner with to sell these putters and have these things all set up for you?
Fitted for these putters.
Club Champion. Yes. And we are so excited to be partnering with Club Champion. They are the premier club fitters in this country. Saks Parente putters are going to be available in every single one of their locations. So I actually, guys, I had the opportunity to go in for a putter fitting at Club Champion. It was incredible. We literally, you start out, they talk about, what's your game look like right now? What's your miss look like? What are you comfortable looking down, in terms of at your putter head? And by the way, Bill, that's why the 66, and talking about it from a look, yes, it's more conventional. We'll call it an answer style, but obviously has the technology that Saks Parente believes in. But so they asked me, what looks good to your eye? And then, okay, we're going to take some putts and he's going to get a real sense of, what a bad putter I am sometimes. Although, he was like, you're very consistent. And he looked at my stroke. And then we put me on a Sam putting lab, which I love. There's no hiding from the facts.
No, not at all.
Club Champion is so thorough. And then we talked about the putters and the recommendations. Now, obviously, for me, my recommendations are a Saks Parente putter. But it was a great way to get to know how they fit people, how they talk to people. I just came away so impressed. Matter of fact, our whole team has gone to Club Champion to get, a putter fitting. And actually, we went to Club Champion before this partnership even started to get our, some of our clubs fitted independent of now being a partner with them. That's how much, we believe in what they do.
All right, guys, we're at the end of the show here. One thing I just want to bring up was the fact that for Saks Parente to be at Club Champion is not easy for companies to get into. They have a very high of, qualifications to get equipment and for them to be able to have that equipment available to them for golfers at Club Champion. They have a high standard, and for Saks Parente to be an independent golf company and to be chosen and partner up with them says a lot for this company. Sax Parente is BiGGs Product of the Week this week. Angelo, thank you so much for joining us here on BiGGs Golf Talk, my friend, and we wish you nothing but health and stay safe.
Thanks so much, guys. Always such a pleasure to talk with you, and also be safe, and to all your listeners as well.
Well, you just told them, so there you go.
You told them. Yep.
That does it for BiGGs Golf Talk right here. For Amanda the Golf Diva Robertson, for the Golf Father, Bill Cuevas, I am Big John Vick. Our website is bigsgolftalk.net, BIGGS golftalk.net, or bigsgolftalk.com. .net or .com will take you to the same place. Don't forget to enter the contest. We're coming down to the final days for our March giveaway, and we wish you nothing but the best of health, and stay safe, everybody. We'll see you next week, and just remember,
you matter.
Thanks for listening, everybody.